The fluorescent lights in the hospital room buzzed like angry wasps, and I figured that was fitting. Everything in my life had turned into something that stung. My name is Owen Harris, and 3 days ago I fell off a ladder while fixing an HVAC unit at the Morrison building downtown. Broke 2 ribs, dislocated my shoulder, and got a concussion that made the world spin like a carnival ride. The doc said I was lucky, could have been worse. What really hurt wasn't the physical pain. It was lying in that narrow bed for 72 hours, staring at the door, waiting for my wife Natalie to show up. She never did. "Owen, you awake?" Carla Martinez pushed through the door carrying 2 cups of coffee. She's been my best friend since high school, works as an ER nurse here at General, tough as nails, heart bigger than Texas, and the only person who tells me the truth, even when it hurts. "Unfortunately," I said, trying to sit up straighter. "Please tell me one of those coffees is for me." The good stuff from the machine downstairs. She handed me the cup and settled into the visitor's chair. "How you feeling?" "Like I got hit by a truck. Where's Natalie?" Carla's face went carefully neutral. That expression I knew too well. She was about to deliver bad news with surgical precision. "Owen, honey, she hasn't been here." "What do you mean she hasn't been here? I've been unconscious for most of it." "She called once, asked about your insurance coverage and whether the hospital would bill her directly." Carla sipped her coffee slowly. "Didn't ask how you were doing? Didn't ask when you'd be released? Just wanted to know about money?" I felt something cold settle in my stomach. Not surprise, exactly. More like confirmation of something I'd been trying not to see for months. "She's been busy with her business," I said, hearing how weak it sounded. "Owen," Carla leaned forward, "I've known you for 20 years. Don't start lying to me now." Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The truth was, Natalie had been distant for the better part of a year. She'd started this whole lifestyle influencer thing, posting photos of her morning smoothies and workout routines, talking about building her brand and monetizing her platform. Every month, she needed more money for business expenses, photography equipment, fancy workout clothes, professional makeup, networking events, $800 a month, regular as clockwork. I worked overtime installing air conditioning units in sweltering attics to cover it, figuring it was an investment in our future. "She's trying to build something," I told Carla. "It takes time." "How much time? And how much of your money?" Before I could answer, my phone buzzed with a text from Natalie. "Insurance adjuster called. Make sure they have our bank info for the payout. Also need you to transfer rent money before Friday." Not, "How are you feeling?" or "When can I pick you up?" Just business. "Let me guess," Carla said, reading my expression. "She wants to know about money." I showed her the text. Carla read it twice, then looked at me with something between pity and anger. "Owen, when's the last time she asked how you were doing? Not about work, not about bills, about you." I started to answer, then stopped. I honestly couldn't remember. "She's under a lot of pressure," I said. "We're all under pressure. That doesn't mean we stop caring about the people we love." The word love hung in the air like smoke. When's the last time Natalie had said she loved me? When's the last time she'd acted like it? Dr. Peterson came in around noon to discharge me. Carla offered to drive me home since Natalie was at a work event, some kind of networking lunch with other influencers. My house sits on Maple Street in what used to be a decent middle-class neighborhood. Now it's mostly rental properties and young couples scraping by. The lawn needed mowing, the gutters needed cleaning, and the front steps were still loose from last winter. Natalie's car wasn't in the driveway. "You want me to stay?" Carla asked as she helped me to the front door. "Nah, I'm good. Thanks for everything." "Owen," she grabbed my arm gently. "You deserve better than this." After she left, I stood in my own living room feeling like a stranger. Everything looked the same. Natalie's ring light and camera set up in the corner, her protein powders and supplements covering the kitchen counter, stacks of packages from online clothing orders she called content creation materials. But something felt different. Maybe it was me. I went upstairs to change clothes and noticed Natalie's laptop open on the bed. She usually kept it password protected, but the screen was still active. I shouldn't have looked. But I did. Her messages were open, and the most recent conversation was with someone named Tyler West. I knew that name. He owned a gym downtown called Prime Fitness. Natalie had been posting a lot of workout photos there lately. The messages made my stomach turn. Tyler. Can't wait to see you tonight, missed you yesterday. Natalie. Had to deal with Owen's accident drama, so annoying. Tyler. When are you going to tell him? Natalie. Soon. Just need to figure out the money situation first. He's useful for paying bills, but that's about it. Tyler. You deserve so much better, babe. A real man who can take care of you. Natalie. I know. Just need to be smart about this transition. I scrolled up and found weeks of similar conversations. Photos she'd sent him that she'd never sent me. Plans for dates while I was working late. Discussions about their future together once she figured out how to extract maximum value from the Owen situation. That last phrase hit me like a physical blow. Extract maximum value from the Owen situation. That's what I was to her. A situation to be managed and extracted from. My phone rang. Natalie. Owen, thank God you're home. I need you to transfer $800 to my business account right away. There's this amazing networking opportunity, but I need to pay for it today. Where are you? I asked. At a work thing. Look, can you just handle the transfer? I'm trying to close a major sponsorship deal. What kind of work thing? Owen. Seriously? I don't have time for 20 questions. Just send the money. I looked at her laptop screen, still showing her conversation with Tyler. Extract maximum value. No, I said. Silence on the other end. What do you mean, no? I mean no. I'm not transferring any money. Owen, what is wrong with you? This is important. This is my career. Your career, right? I scrolled through more of her messages with Tyler. How's Tyler, by the way? Another silence, longer this time. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. Your laptop's open, Natalie. I can see everything. I heard her sharp intake of breath. Owen, you have no right to go through my private messages. And you have no right to cheat on me while spending my money to impress your boyfriend. It's not like that. It's exactly like that. Extract maximum value from the Owen situation. That's what you called me. Owen, listen. I hung up. Then I did something I should have done months ago. I logged into our bank account and changed all the passwords. I removed her access to the credit cards. I set up alerts for any attempted logins or transactions. Within 20 minutes, my phone started buzzing with texts. Owen, I can't access the account. This is ridiculous. Change the passwords back right now. I'm trying to pay for lunch and my card isn't working. People are staring at me. Fix this now. I turned off my phone and took a nap. When I woke up, there were 17 missed calls and 34 text messages. The last few were from Natalie's friends Bree and Jade, who apparently had been recruited to help pressure me. Bree. Owen, what you're doing to Natalie is cruel and controlling. She's having a panic attack. Jade. This is financial abuse. Change the passwords back or we're calling the police. I laughed out loud. Financial abuse. That was rich, coming from people who'd been encouraging Natalie to spend my money for months. I made myself a sandwich and waited for the real show to begin. Natalie came home around 8 o'clock, and I heard her before I saw her. The front door slammed hard enough to rattle the windows, followed by the rapid clicking of her heels across the hardwood floor. Owen! She screamed from downstairs. Get down here right now! I was lying on the bed, reading a book about HVAC system design. Figured I might as well use my recovery time for something productive. Owen! I'm upstairs, I called back calmly. Come up if you want to talk. More heel clicking, this time on the stairs. She appeared in the doorway looking like she'd been through a tornado. Her usually perfect hair was disheveled, her makeup smeared, and her face was red with anger. "What the hell is wrong with you?" she demanded. "Nothing's wrong with me. How was your day?" "Don't you dare act casual with me. You embarrassed me in front of everyone. Do you have any idea what you've done?" I set down my book and looked at her. Really looked at her. When had she become this person? This stranger who cared more about her image than her husband lying in a hospital bed. "Tell me about your day," I said. "Start with lunch." She faltered for a second, then regained her composure. "I was at a business lunch with potential sponsors. Important people, Owen. People who could change our entire future. And right in the middle of my presentation, my card gets declined. That must have been embarrassing." Embarrassing? It was humiliating. I had to call Bree to come pay for my meal. Everyone was staring at me like I was some kind of fraud. Interesting choice of words. And then I tried to buy gas on the way home, and that card was declined too. I had to call Jade to bring me $20. $20, Owen. Like I'm some broke college student. I nodded sympathetically. That does sound frustrating. So fix it. Give me the passwords and let's pretend this little tantrum never happened. No. She stared at me like I'd grown a second head. What do you mean, no? I mean, I'm not giving you access to my money anymore. Your money? It's our money. We're married. Are we? Because according to your text messages with Tyler, you're planning to leave me as soon as you figure out how to extract maximum value from the situation. Her face went pale, then flushed red again. You had no right to read those messages. You had no right to cheat on me. Guess we're even. She sat down on the edge of the bed, and for a moment I thought she might actually apologize. Instead, she switched tactics. "Owen, honey, you're hurt and you're not thinking clearly. Tyler is just a friend. Those messages don't mean what you think they mean." "Really? What do they mean?" "I was venting. I was frustrated because you've been working so much and I felt neglected. I said things I didn't mean. You said I was only useful for paying bills. I was angry. People say stupid things when they're angry." I studied her face. She was good at this. The concerned wife routine, the reasonable tone, the way she made me feel like I was the one being unreasonable. "Okay," I said. "Let's say I believe you. Let's say Tyler is just a friend, and you were just venting." Relief flickered across her features. "Thank you. I knew you'd understand. So you won't mind if I call Tyler and introduce myself, friend to friend." The relief vanished. "That's not necessary." "Why not? If he's just a friend, he'd probably love to meet your husband." "Owen, you're being ridiculous." "Am I? Or are you lying to me?" She stood up abruptly and started pacing. "Fine. You want the truth? Tyler and I have gotten close, but nothing physical has happened. We're just friends who understand each other. Friends who make plans for their future together. We talk about possibilities. That's not a crime. And the photos you sent him?" She stopped pacing. "What photos?" "The ones on your phone, the ones you took in our bedroom." I was bluffing. I hadn't seen any photos, but her expression told me I'd hit the target. "Those were... I was asking for fitness advice." "Fitness advice? In lingerie?" "Owen, please, can we just move past this? I'll cut contact with Tyler if that's what you want. Just give me access to the accounts." There it was. The real priority. Not our marriage, not rebuilding trust. Just access to the money. "No," I said. "Owen, be reasonable. I have expenses. I have commitments." "What commitments?" "Business commitments. I've invested in things, made promises to people." "What kind of investments?" She hesitated too long before answering. "Equipment, marketing, professional development." "Show me the receipts." "What?" "You've spent $800 a month for 6 months. That's almost $5,000. Show me what you bought." I don't have to justify my business expenses to you. You do if you want me to keep paying for them. She glared at me for a long moment, then tried a different approach. Owen, I love you. I know I've made mistakes, but I love you. We can work through this. When's the last time you told me you love me? I just told you. Before today. When's the last time you said it and meant it? She opened her mouth, then closed it. I tell you all the time. No, you don't. You ask me for money all the time. You complain about your problems all the time. You take photos of your breakfast all the time. But you don't tell me you love me. That's not fair. What's not fair is me working 60-hour weeks to fund your lifestyle while you plan your exit strategy with another man. Tears started forming in her eyes, and I felt a familiar tug of guilt. She was good at this too, the wounded victim act. I never meant for things to get this complicated, she said softly. Complicated? That's what you call cheating on your husband? I wasn't cheating, not really. What would you call it? I was exploring my options. The honesty was almost refreshing. Well, now you can explore them without my financial support. She wiped her eyes and stood up straighter. Fine. If that's how you want to play this, I'll figure it out on my own. Good for you. But don't expect me to come crawling back when you realize what you've lost. I'll try to contain my disappointment. She stormed out, slamming the bedroom door behind her. I heard her moving around downstairs, probably packing a bag. 20 minutes later, the front door slammed again, and her car started in the driveway. I went to the window and watched her drive away. For the first time in months, I felt something I'd almost forgotten. Peace. My phone buzzed with a text from Carla. How are you holding up? I typed back. Better than expected. Think I'm finally waking up. Good. Want me to bring dinner? That would be great. As I waited for Carla to arrive, I made a list of all the things I needed to do. Change the locks, cancel the credit cards, figure out what Natalie had actually spent my money on. But first, I was going to eat a decent meal with a good friend and remember what it felt like to have someone actually care about my well-being. The real reckoning could wait until tomorrow. I went back to work on Monday, against Dr. Peterson's advice, but with Mr. D'Angelo's blessing. D'Angelo's been running D'Angelo Heating and Cooling for 30 years, and he's seen enough of life to know when a man needs to stay busy to keep his sanity. You sure you're ready, Owen? He asked as I signed in at the shop. Don't need you falling off another ladder. I'm good, Mr. D. Just need to keep my hands busy. He nodded knowingly. Heard your wife's been causing some drama around town. Word travels fast in a city this size, especially when someone has a public meltdown at Cafe Luna on Sunday morning. What did you hear? Becca Morrison was having brunch there yesterday. Said your wife tried to pay for a $60 meal and her card got declined 3 times. Made a scene, started yelling about identity theft and bank errors. Had to call a friend to come rescue her. I couldn't help but smile. That's unfortunate. Becca said she was live streaming the whole thing on her phone until it happened. Turned off the camera real quick when the card problems started. Probably didn't fit her brand image. Speaking of which, she came by here on Friday afternoon, while you were still in the hospital. That got my attention. What did she want? Wanted to know when you'd be back, how much sick pay you'd get, whether we offered advances on paychecks. D'Angelo shook his head. Didn't ask how you were feeling, just wanted to know about money. What did you tell her? Told her to get out of my shop and don't come back unless she's here to see her husband. I felt a surge of gratitude toward the old man. D'Angelo had been like a father to me since I started working for him 8 years ago. Thanks, Mr. D. Don't mention it. Now get out there and make me some money. Got 3 service calls waiting. The first call was a routine maintenance check at the Morrison building, ironically the same place where I'd fallen the week before. The building manager, Janet, was waiting for me in the lobby. Owen, how are you feeling? We were all so worried. Much better, thanks. ready to get back to work. Are you sure you should be climbing ladders so soon? I'll be careful, promise. The truth was, I needed the physical work, needed something concrete and fixable to focus on. HVAC systems made sense. They had clear problems and clear solutions. Unlike my marriage. I was finishing up the maintenance check when my phone started buzzing with calls from an unknown number. I ignored the first three, but whoever it was kept calling back. Finally, I answered. Owen Harris. This is Tyler West. I think we need to talk. I almost laughed. The boyfriend was calling me directly. Do we? What about? About Natalie. About this situation you've created. What situation is that? You know what situation. Cutting off her access to money, embarrassing her in public. That's not how a real man handles his problems. And how would a real man handle it? Face to face, man to man. Interesting. Where were you last week when I was in the hospital? Natalie could have used a real man to visit her husband and make sure he was okay. Silence on the other end. That's different. How is it different? Look, Owen, I'm trying to be reasonable here. Natalie made some mistakes, but she's a good woman. She deserves better than what you're putting her through. What I'm putting her through? I'm not the one who was planning to leave while secretly spending her spouse's money. She was going to tell you. She just needed time to figure out the right way. The right way to what? Extract maximum value from the Owen situation? Another silence. She told you about that? I read it myself, along with all the other messages between you two. Those were private conversations. Between my wife and another man. Nothing private about that. Tyler's tone shifted, became more aggressive. Listen, Owen, here's what's going to happen. You're going to give Natalie access to the money she needs, and you're going to stop making her life difficult, or we're going to have a problem. We already have a problem. You're sleeping with my wife. I'm not sleeping with her. Yet. The honesty was almost admirable. Well, that's something, I guess. But I will be soon. Because she's going to leave you, Owen. She's going to realize she deserves a man who can actually take care of her. Take care of her how? You going to pay her bills? I can provide for her in ways you obviously can't. Really? What do you do for a living, Tyler? I own a business, a successful business. Prime Fitness, right? How's that going? It's going great. That's funny, because I drove by there yesterday and noticed you've got equipment financing stickers on half your machines, and your parking lot needs repaving, and your sign is missing 2 letters. Every business has startup costs. Sure they do. But successful businesses don't usually need their girlfriends' husbands to fund their girlfriends' lifestyles. What's that supposed to mean? It means Natalie's been spending $800 a month of my money. Where do you think that money's been going, Tyler? Silence again. Longer this time. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. The fancy workout clothes she wears to your gym. The professional photos she takes there. The supplements and protein powders. The couple's massage she bought for you two last month. How do you know about that? Credit card statements. Amazing what you can learn when you actually pay attention to where your money goes. I heard Tyler breathing heavily on the other end. Owen, you need to back off. I'm warning you. Or what? You'll come over here and threaten me in person? Maybe I will. I'll be here. You know where I live. Natalie's probably given you the address. Come on by anytime. Don't tempt me. I'm not tempting you. I'm inviting you. Let's have that man-to-man conversation you wanted. You don't want that smoke, Owen. Try me. Tyler hung up. I finished the maintenance check and moved on to my next service call, feeling oddly energized. For months, I'd felt like I was losing control of my life. Now, for the first time, I felt like I was taking it back. My phone buzzed with a text from Carla. Heard through the grapevine that Natalie's been staying at her friend Jade's place. Also heard she's been asking around about divorce lawyers. I texted back, good for her. Saves me the trouble of bringing it up first. How are you handling all this? Better than I expected. Feels good to finally see things clearly. Want to grab dinner tonight? I'm buying. Sounds perfect. As I drove to my next service call, I found myself thinking about Tyler's threat. Part of me almost hoped he'd follow through and come to the house. I'd been avoiding confrontation for so long, trying to keep the peace, trying to make everyone else happy. Maybe it was time to stop avoiding things. Maybe it was time to see what happened when I stopped being the nice guy who paid for everything and asked for nothing in return. My phone rang again. Unknown number. Owen Harris. Owen, it's Bree, Natalie's friend. I know who you are. We need to talk. Do we? This has gone far enough. Natalie is devastated. She's been crying for 3 days straight. That's unfortunate. Owen, whatever problems you and Natalie have, this isn't the way to handle them. Cutting off her money, humiliating her in public, it's cruel. What's cruel is cheating on your spouse while spending their money to impress your boyfriend. She wasn't cheating. They're just friends. Right. That's why Tyler just called me to threaten me about my own wife. Bree paused. He called you? About 20 minutes ago. Told me I needed to give Natalie access to money or we'd have a problem. Tyler shouldn't have done that. But he did, which tells me this whole situation is exactly what I think it is. Owen, please. Natalie made some mistakes, but she loves you. When's the last time she showed it? She shows it all the time. How? By asking for money? By ignoring me when I'm in the hospital? By planning her exit strategy with another man? She was confused. She didn't know what she wanted. Well, now she can figure it out without my financial support. Owen, be reasonable. She has commitments. People are depending on her. What commitments? Business commitments. She's built a following, she has sponsors, she has what? A few hundred followers on Instagram and a boyfriend who owns a failing gym? That's not fair. What's not fair is me working overtime to fund her fantasy life while she shops for my replacement. Bree sighed. What do you want, Owen? What would it take for you to forgive her and move forward? I want her to be honest. I want her to admit what she's been doing. And I want her to choose, me or Tyler, not both. And if she chooses you? Then we'll see. But I'm not paying for the privilege of being cheated on anymore. What if she chooses Tyler? Then I wish them both the best of luck paying their own bills. After I hung up, I realized I meant every word. For the first time in months, I wasn't afraid of what might happen next. I was curious. Tuesday morning brought an unexpected visitor to the D'Angelo shop. I was loading equipment into my truck when a silver BMW pulled into the parking lot. Tyler West climbed out, all 6 feet of him, wearing tight jeans and a tank top that showed off his gym-sculpted arms. He looked exactly like I'd expected, handsome in a generic way with perfectly styled hair and the kind of confident swagger that comes from having people tell you how great you are. Owen Harris? He called out. That's me. He walked over with what I'm sure he thought was an intimidating stride. Up close, I could see he was younger than me by at least 5 years, with the kind of smooth face that had never been punched. We need to talk. So, you said yesterday. What's on your mind, Tyler? This situation with Natalie needs to stop. Which situation is that? You know what situation, the money thing, the control thing, all of it. I set down the equipment I was loading and gave him my full attention. Tyler, let me ask you something. Are you planning to leave your wife for Natalie? I'm not married. Sorry, girlfriend. Are you planning to leave your girlfriend for Natalie? He shifted uncomfortably. That's complicated. How is it complicated? Look, that's not the point. The point is you want me to keep funding Natalie's lifestyle so she can afford to date you while you figure out whether you want to commit to her. That's not what this is about. Then what is it about? Tyler puffed out his chest and stepped closer. It's about you treating a woman with respect. It's about not being a controlling piece of garbage who cuts off his wife's money just because he's insecure. Insecure about what? About the fact that she's outgrown you. About the fact that she deserves better. I nodded thoughtfully. You might be right. She might deserve better. But here's the thing, Tyler. If she deserves better, then better should be able to pay for her. I can pay for her. Can you? Because from what I can see, you're running a failing gym and driving a car that's probably financed up to the roof. His face flushed red. My business is doing fine. Is it? Then why does Natalie need my money for all those supplements and workout clothes she buys at your place? She doesn't buy that stuff at my place. Really? Because I've got credit card statements that say otherwise. $800 last month alone. Protein powders, workout gear, personal training sessions, all at Prime Fitness. Tyler's confident expression wavered. Those were legitimate business expenses. For whose business? Hers or yours? Both. We're partners. Partners in what? In building her brand. In creating content that showcases the lifestyle. The lifestyle that I pay for. Not anymore, you don't. Exactly. So now you get to step up and be the man you claim to be. Tyler stared at me for a long moment, and I could see the wheels turning in his head. He was realizing what I'd already figured out, that Natalie's lifestyle cost money, and without my money, someone else would have to provide it. This isn't over, he said finally. Sure it is. It's over because I'm not playing anymore. You want Natalie? Take her. But you get to pay for her too. You can't just abandon your wife. I'm not abandoning her. I'm setting her free to pursue her dreams with the man of her choice. That's you, right? Tyler turned and walked back to his BMW without another word. I watched him drive away, then went back to loading my truck. Mr. D'Angelo appeared beside me. Friend of yours? Something like that. Seemed upset. Yeah, well, some people don't like it when reality intrudes on their fantasy. The rest of the week passed quietly. I worked my regular schedule, came home to an empty house, and enjoyed the peace. No requests for money, no drama about sponsorship deals or networking events, no one asking me to transfer funds while barely acknowledging my existence. Friday afternoon, Carla stopped by after her shift at the hospital. You look good, she said, settling onto the couch with a beer. Relaxed. I feel good. Better than I have in months. Any word from Natalie? Couple of texts asking about money. I haven't responded. And Tyler? Paid me a visit at work. Wanted to threaten me into giving Natalie access to the accounts. How did that go? About like you'd expect. He's all muscles and attitude until you start talking about who's going to pay for what. Carla laughed. So, what's your plan? Don't really have one. Figure I'll let things play out naturally. That's very zen of you. Not zen, just tired of trying to control things I can't control. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, then decided to check. It was a photo of Natalie and Tyler at some kind of restaurant, looking cozy and happy. The message read, "This is what a real relationship looks like. Thanks for the freedom." I showed the photo to Carla. Classy, she said. Very mature. Yeah, though I notice they're eating at Denny's, not some fancy place. Budget constraints? Probably. Tyler's learning what it costs to date an influencer. I deleted the message and put my phone away. Owen, Carla said carefully, are you sure you're okay with all this? I mean, really okay? You know what? I am. For the first time in our marriage, Natalie's being honest about what she wants, and I'm being honest about what I'm willing to provide. Which is nothing. She wants a different life with a different man. She can have it. But she can't have it on my dime. Saturday morning brought another surprise visitor. This time it was Jade, Natalie's other close friend. She knocked on the door around 10 o'clock, looking nervous and determined. Owen, we need to talk. About what? About Natalie. About this whole mess. I let her in and offered her coffee, which she declined. Owen, I know you're hurt. I know Natalie made mistakes. But this has gone too far. How so? She's falling apart. She can't afford her apartment without your help. She can't maintain her social media presence without money for content creation. You're destroying her life. I'm not destroying anything. I'm just not funding it anymore. Same thing. Is it? Because it seems to me like if her life falls apart the moment I stop paying for it, then maybe it wasn't really her life to begin with. Jade stared at me. That's a terrible thing to say. Is it terrible because it's cruel, or because it's true? Owen, she loves you. She made some mistakes, but she loves you. Then why is she dating Tyler? She's not dating him. They're just exploring their connection. While she's married to me. Marriage is complicated. Not really. You're either committed or you're not. People can be confused about what they want. Sure they can, but they don't get to be confused on my dime. Jade tried a different approach. What if she ended things with Tyler? What if she came back and really committed to working on your marriage? Has she said she wants to do that? She's considering it. That's not what I asked. Jade hesitated. She's exploring her options. Right. And one of those options is staying married to the guy who pays for everything while she figures out whether she wants to be with someone else. Owen, please, just give her another chance. I gave her chances for months. Every time she asked for money, every time she stayed out all night, every time she treated me like an inconvenience. I kept giving her chances. This is different. How is it different? Because now she knows she might lose you. She's not going to lose me, Jade. She already lost me. She lost me when she decided I was just a situation to be managed and extracted from. Jade left without getting what she came for. An hour later, my phone started buzzing with calls from Natalie. I let them go to voicemail. The first message was angry. Owen, this is ridiculous. Call me back right now. The second was pleading. Owen, please. We need to talk. I know I made mistakes, but we can fix this. The third was desperate. Owen, I can't do this without you. I need you. Please call me back. I didn't call back. Sunday morning, I was drinking coffee and reading the paper when I heard a car door slam in the driveway. I looked out the window and saw Natalie getting out of Tyler's BMW. She was coming to the front door, and she looked determined. This should be interesting. Natalie knocked 3 times, then used her key to let herself in. I stayed at the kitchen table, reading the sports section and drinking my coffee. Owen, she called from the front door. In the kitchen. She appeared in the doorway, looking like she'd spent considerable time preparing for this conversation. Hair perfectly styled, makeup flawless, wearing the kind of outfit that cost more than most people made in a week. We need to talk, she said. Okay. She sat down across from me at the kitchen table, the same table where we'd eaten breakfast together for 3 years, back when she used to get up early enough to eat breakfast. Owen, I know you're angry. I know I handled things badly, but we can fix this. I folded the newspaper and looked at her. Fix what? Our marriage, our relationship, everything. How do you want to fix it? I want to be honest with you. I want us to be honest with each other. Okay, let's be honest. Are you in love with Tyler? She hesitated just long enough to give me my answer. It's complicated. It's not complicated. Either you love him or you don't. I have feelings for him. But I love you too. Do you? Of course I do. Owen, you're my husband. We have history together. We built a life together. What life? The life where you ignore me unless you need money. The life where you spend your time planning your future with another man? I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted. And now you do. Now I know I want to save our marriage. Why? The question seemed to catch her off guard. What do you mean, why? I mean, why do you want to save our marriage? What is it about our relationship that makes you want to fight for it? She opened her mouth, then closed it, then opened it again. Because I love you. What do you love about me? Owen, What kind of question is that? A simple one. What do you love about me? I love that you're dependable. I love that you work hard. I love that you take care of me. You love that I pay for things. That's not what I said. It's what you meant. You love that I'm useful. Owen, that's not fair. When's the last time you asked me about my day? What? When's the last time you asked me how my day was, or what I was thinking about, or how I was feeling about something that had nothing to do with money? She stared at me blankly. I ask you about your day all the time. No, you tell me about your day all the time. You tell me about your problems, your goals, your drama with your friends. But when's the last time you asked about mine? We talk all the time. We don't talk. You talk, and I listen. You ask for things, and I provide them. You create problems, and I solve them. That's not a conversation. Owen, I know I've been selfish. I know I've taken you for granted. But I want to change. Do you? Or do you want me to change the passwords back? Her face flushed. I want both. I want us to work on our relationship, and I want you to stop punishing me financially. I'm not punishing you. I'm just not rewarding you anymore. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm not going to pay you to be my wife. If you want to be married to me, be married to me. If you don't, then don't. But I'm not going to fund your exploration of other options. Owen, I need some financial support while I figure things out. Figure what out? My career, my business, my future. Your future with Tyler? My future in general. I stood up and refilled my coffee cup, then sat back down. Natalie, let me ask you something. If I died tomorrow, would you be sad because you lost your husband or because you lost your income? That's a horrible question. Answer it anyway. I'd be devastated if you died. Because you'd miss me, or because you'd miss my paycheck? Because I'd miss you. What would you miss about me? Again, the blank stare. I'd miss having you around. To do what? To pay for things? To solve problems? To listen to you complain about your life? Owen, stop it. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. For the first time in months, I'm being completely honest. Fine. You want honesty? Here's honesty. Yes, I have feelings for Tyler. Yes, I've been unhappy in our marriage. Yes, I've taken you for granted. But I'm here now, trying to fix things. Why? Because I realize what I'm losing. What are you losing? You. Our life together. Our future. Our future where you spend my money while dating other men. Our future where we work together to build something better. I studied her face. She was good at this. The earnest expression, the reasonable tone, the way she made her betrayal sound like a minor misunderstanding. What does Tyler think about you being here? Tyler understands that I need to handle my marriage properly. Handle it how? End it cleanly, without drama. So you are planning to leave me for him. I'm planning to figure out what I want without hurting anyone unnecessarily. And while you're figuring it out, you want me to pay your bills. I want you to honor the commitments we made to each other when we got married. What commitments were those? For better or worse, in sickness and in health, for richer or poorer. Right. And what about forsaking all others? She looked away. I haven't been unfaithful. Haven't you? Not physically. Just emotionally and financially. Owen, please. Can we just try to move forward? Can we just try to rebuild what we had? What did we have, Natalie? Really? What did we have that was worth rebuilding? We had a partnership. We had an arrangement. I worked, you spent, I provided, you consumed. That's not a partnership. It doesn't have to be that way. Doesn't it? Because every solution you've proposed involves me giving you money while you decide whether you want to be with me or someone else. That's not true. Then what are you proposing? I'm proposing that we go to counseling, that we work on our communication, that we rebuild trust. And while we're doing all that, we maintain the status quo financially. The status quo where I pay for everything. The status quo where we honor our existing commitments. I finished my coffee and set the cup down. Natalie, I'm going to make this very simple for you. I'm done paying for the privilege of being married to someone who doesn't want to be married to me. I do want to be married to you. No, you want to be financially supported by me while you explore your options with Tyler. That's not true. Then choose, right now, me or him. Owen, it's not that simple. It is that simple. Choose. I can't just make a decision like that on the spot. Why not? Because it's complicated. Because there are feelings involved. Because I need time to think. You've had months to think. While you were texting him, planning with him, spending my money to impress him. How much more time do you need? I need time to end things with Tyler properly. End things? I thought you said nothing physical happened? Nothing physical did happen. But we have an emotional connection. I need to handle that respectfully. And while you're handling it respectfully, you want me to pay your bills. I want you to be patient while I clean up the mess I created. I stood up and walked to the window, looking out at Tyler's BMW in my driveway. Is he waiting for you? Yes. What did you tell him you were going to accomplish here? I told him I was going to try to work things out with you. And if you can't work things out, then we'll figure out next steps. I turned back to face her. Here's what's going to happen, Natalie. You're going to walk out that door and get in Tyler's car. You're going to decide whether you want to be married to me or whether you want to be with him. If you choose me, you cut all contact with Tyler immediately, and we start over with complete honesty. If you choose him, I'll file for divorce on Monday. Owen, that's not fair. You can't give me an ultimatum. I'm not giving you an ultimatum. I'm giving you clarity. For months, you've been trying to have both relationships. Now you get to pick one. And if I pick you, then we'll see if we can build something real instead of the arrangement we had before. What about money? What about my expenses? What about them? I have commitments. I have bills. Then you better choose someone who can help you pay them. She stared at me for a long moment, and I could see her calculating, weighing her options, trying to figure out how to get what she wanted without giving up what she had. I need time, she said finally. How much time? A few days? Maybe a week? To do what? To think. To figure out what I really want. While Tyler pays your bills? While I figure out my finances. I walked to the front door and opened it. Natalie, you've got 30 seconds to decide. Me or him. Choose now. Owen, please. Don't make me choose like this. 20 seconds. This isn't fair. 10 seconds. She looked at me, then looked toward the door where Tyler was waiting. I can't. I need more time. Then you've chosen. I held the door open for her. She walked past me without another word, got into Tyler's car, and they drove away. I closed the door, sat back down at the kitchen table, and finished reading the paper. For the first time in months, the house was completely quiet. No drama, no demands, no one asking me for anything. It felt like freedom.